our server installation is complete. Now, once your server installation is complete, you would see that by seeing these instructions that says go to the CentOS web panel admin GUI, and then it gives you your IP address /2030. It gives you the SSL connection to your IP address at 2031, and then it tells you the username is root, the MySQL, the password is that and that. Now, once you see this, it means you have successfully installed CWP on your server. But then, before you rush to your GUI and you start using your GUI, you need to do a server reboot. And if you look at the instructions, of course, I should tell you that these are optional arguments. All these arguments here are actually optional. So we are not going to be, going for all these arguments here. And we are not going to be running this command. These are optional. We are not going to be using them. So just jump straight to reboot. So once you have this screen and things have been installed for you, then you just want to reboot the server so that all the changes you have made will take place. Reboot. Now, of course, by now you know. When you do a reboot, then the server will shut down and restart. And once your server does a shutdown, it will lose internet connection and you won't have access to it. So let's just open a new terminal and just do a new session, and then we put in the IP address of our server and then the password to our server, and then we log in. So I'm just going to get the IP address, and then to copy, you just do a right click once. If you want to paste, right click once. If you want to copy, right click once, and then I'm going to put in the password right there. That's the IP address, and then I'm going to grab the password to the server. I'm going to grab that password and I'm going to put it right there as well. So I put in the IP address, I go open, and then I log in as root, and then I put in the password. Right click once and your password is pasted, and then you can see this time around, each time you now log into your server, you would see that your server will give you that information that says welcome to CWP. So CWP is now running on your server. So give yourself a pat on the back. You have successfully installed CWP. However, if you are using CentOS 8, you may have difficulty turning on your firewall later. The firewall in CWP may not work because iptables are not installed. So what you want to do is just run this command. As you go along, you would understand what that means. You want to do yum-y. These are Linux commands, and then you want to do install iptables. Now, if you miss this step and then you find out that your firewall is not being turned on, or you are having difficulty turning on your firewall in your GUI, what you want to do is you want to come back and install iptables, and then you just hit enter and iptables will be installed for you. You do a server reboot, and then you can go to your GUI and you continue work from your GUI. Now, it's so simple. Installing CWP on your server is so simple, so simple, that once you know how to do it, you just find out that it's something you can just do with your eyes closed. And then once you have now been able to install CWP, the next thing you want to do is you want to log into CWP GUI, that's the graphical user interface, via the browser. And then you want to make sure that you set up security for your server, because that's very important. You want to make sure that at least you have done the best you can about protecting that particular server. So I'm just going to do a reboot one more time, use network connection, and the server gets restarted. Then if you come back here now, you now see this is the link through which we can access the GUI of CWP. So if you now go there and you just go to that link, you'll see, of course, we know this is a server. It's okay. We just proceed to the unsafe site, and there you have it. So you can log in with your username and your password right there, And then once you do that, you'll be logged in to your server. So that's it. So for a lot of people, once they see this, they're like, wow, so I could do this myself. They're like, wow. And that's it. So in the next video, we'll start looking at how to configure security for your CWP. We are going to be doing CSF. We are going to be changing your SSH ports and things like that. We'll do that in the next video. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.